Divine Connection Marketing is a 500 Fortune company that always connect you to the right connection. Check them out.
Businesses all across the planet are looking to make connections with people. Well, guess what? Divine Connections magazine is helping businesses not only walk in their purpose and passions, but to get connected to their potential. That's right. You've got to connect to your potential, and you can make it happen now because it is time to know your worth. As you get connected to people all across the planet, Divine Connections magazine will make it happen. And get featured in the magazine today and get your copy now, because there's no other time than a divine time to get connected to Divine Connections magazine.
Hey, great day, everyone. I'm Deloris with CEO of Divine Connections. So excited. Want to personally invite you to Divine Connections 12th magazine anniversary. We're going to have vendors and speakers and sponsors and gospel groups, and we want you to be a part. So get your ticket before February 20th to get yourself featured in Divine Connections magazine. The link below, and I will see you there. That is Saturday, March 26th. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. Great day, everyone. This is Deloris Williams with Divine Connections. Welcome. Make sure you like and share this broadcast. We're going to have great things going on today. Our event is coming up. So that is Saturday, March 26th. We're going to be celebrating women. It is Divine Connections 12th magazine anniversary, and we are going to celebrate women making it happen. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have sponsors. We're going to have gospel groups, and we're going to have speakers. So I'm definitely excited about that. So make sure you guys go ahead and get your ticket at divineconnectionsmagazine.com/events. Tickets are $45. And you will get a plethora of things that you're going to have during that day. All right. So we are celebrating women. We're bringing them together. It's going to be at Beyond Measure Ministries, Hall River, North Carolina, 904 East Main Street, which is not that far from Burlington. Okay. It's in the Burlington area. All right. And tickets are $45. And we also looking for maybe 6 more sponsors. We have vendors. So we're good with that. But if you would like to be a sponsor and support this event, you can text me at 336-338-8903, okay, for more information, and I will give you information on how to be a part with that. Awesome. So let's get into some news. How can you be a part of Divine Connections? Well, first of all, it's a faith-based and inspirational magazine that comes out quarterly in print as well as online. So we market and advertise with different businesses, entrepreneurs, pastors, authors, anyone that's doing something great in the community. There's a lot of great things going out there, resources and connections, and we want you to know about it. So that we have half page and we have full page opportunities, and the ad runs for 3 months. All right. So if you're interested in that, definitely let me know. All right. My email is divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. Well, how do you stay connected with Divine Connections Magazine? Go to our website and join our email list, divineconnectionsmagazine.com. And then we are also on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. We also, you can follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections. And we also have our YouTube channel at The Divine Connections. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification button on our YouTube channel to follow us and stay connected. Next on our agenda, if you would like to order a copy, this is our copy right now, what we have going on. This is our currently quarterly issue of Divine Connections Magazine. Go to divineconnectionsmagazine.com/subscriptions. We have great connections in this. If you would like to get your copy, different businesses, entrepreneurs, services, resources, connections, all in this magazine. So go ahead, if you haven't done so already, and get you Divine Connections Magazine at divineconnectionsmagazine.com/subscriptions. Now, on this show, before and after the interviews, we have sponsorship spots. So if you have a 30-second commercial and you would like your business or your ministry getting more exposure, we can do that here as a sponsored 3-month agreement for $150. And we would love to share your information with the masses. So that email is divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com, or you can text 336-338-8903. Also, if your business or your ministry needs a 30-second or a 60-second commercial, we do those as well. So if you have a business, if you have a ministry, a book, a gospel group, you can email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. And I also am blessed to have written my second book called The Key Connector, How to Build an Empire Helping People. And that is exactly what I do. The Lord has given me the opportunity to build this empire with divine connections as well as life. And so I have some strategic information of how I have built divine connections with the help of the Lord. And then, and this all in this book in different stories and strategies. So it's called The Key Connector, How to Build an Empire with Helping People. It is also on Amazon, so you can get it from there, or simply go to the link below, put that in, and you'll get a message from me and information on how to order this magazine. If you want to sign, the book. And if you want a signed copy, we can do that as well. Okay, so just get in contact with me and let me know. Again, my anniversary, 12th magazine anniversary is coming up. We're going to have gospel groups. We're going to have speakers. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have sponsors. And we want to also focus on celebrating women. We do a lot, and we're going to share that with the community. Men, you're welcome as well to come to that. So if you want to get a ticket, please go ahead and do so before it is sold out. It's divineconnectionsmagazine.com/events. Okay, tickets are $45. If you want to be a sponsor, that's $150. All right, so those are the two options we have for that right now. It is at Beyond Measure Ministries, 904 East Main Street in Hall River, North Carolina. And that is just right in Burlington, North Carolina area. Okay. And I would love to see you there. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And last but not least, I am honored to be nominated for the Rhythm of Gospel Awards. So go to that link, click on online voting. I am number 57 and 62. 57 is Gospel Internet Promotion and Marketing Group of the Year. And number 62 is Print Press Media Group of the Year. And it is unlimited. You can vote up until March 5th. And what you want to do is vote in every category in order for your vote to count. But when you get to 57 and 62, make sure you click on Deloris Williams and Divine Connections. Okay, I greatly appreciate that in advance. And I am definitely excited about our guest that we're going to have come on today. So let me share a little bit of information with you about our guest. And it is best-selling author brother Bedford is one of the most revered marketing and business advisors to entrepreneurs and business owners in America. The host of Conversations with Black Millionaires and founder of the Masters of Business Mastermind. He serves as a trusted consultant and coach to the entrepreneur clients whose revenue spans 1 million to 10 of millions. He's been seen and heard on NBC, CBS, Radio 1, iHeartRadio, XM Radio, along with numerous radio, television programs, and podcasts and websites all over the globe. Brother Bedford has been handpicked by business icon George Fraser to present at the Power Networking Conference, one of the largest networking and business conferences for African Americans. And he has addressed audiences as large as 20,000, sharing the stage with entertainers, sports stars, celebrities, legendary entrepreneurs, and thought leaders like George Fraser, Les Brown, Dr. Dennis Kimball, Lisa Nichols, and so much more. And he also his work has been and continues to be dedicated to helping Black people grow their business, advance careers, and multiply their bottom line. Okay, and he strongly believes in sound business practices, um, and is a champion for those who want to build their own business, advance their careers, and increase their personal wealth and add to their personal growth. And that is phenomenal. So, would you help me welcome the one and only Brother Bradford? How are you?
I'm great, Deloris. How are you today?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, thank you for your time. Thank you for what you do in the community. Share with the audience. And we just read your bio. So, share with the audience a little bit about where you're from and how you got started.
Oh, wow. Well, to kind of give you the condensed version, I'm originally from
Okay.
Detroit. I reside now in Atlanta, Georgia,
Okay.
but I'm originally from Detroit, born and raised on the East Side. I've
Mm-hmm.
always had the entrepreneurial spirit. I don't believe I've worked a real job more than a few days in my life. Right? I probably had 3 to 4 uh, little side jobs or something in my teens or early 20s,
Right.
but I've never really worked a full job. I actually came on board to try to help a dear friend of mine with his company
Mm-hmm.
here in Atlanta, probably a couple years ago now. Yeah, it was prior to the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and I just could not the office life of sitting in the cubicle and things like that. It's just not for me. So I've been practically an entrepreneur all my life. First, starting in the entertainment space on the
Mm-hmm.
performance side, selling records and CDs and things like that. But then graduating to the promotion side and booking concerts with some legendary artists like Gladys Knight, Cedric the Entertainer, and a few
Mm-hmm.
other notable people that we may know. And then I slowly drifted into the arena of real estate investing, started studying some of those gurus who were those late night gurus who taught all of their real estate investing strategies and really started having some success doing that. But then
Mm-hmm.
I stumbled into one of those real estate gurus invited me to a conference in Orlando, Florida, that really had nothing to do with real estate. It was all about taking your knowledge, your information, your expertise, and packaging it into information products. That's what we call them, information products, which was really just home study courses,
Mm-hmm.
books, videos, conferences, events, and boot camps.
Yes.
And I was hooked. And so from that point forward, I just started learning how to take information and market it. And then I learned direct response marketing and I was doing it for myself. And then I just started helping people do it as well. And that's currently what I still do today is to help people primarily to
Mm-hmm.
build online businesses, really focusing on virtual masterminds. So that's really where I am today, still teaching and training, but I do help other entrepreneurs develop online masterminds.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's get into that. Just dig into like some digital marketing things, some basic things that maybe an entrepreneur needs. Give us some a little insight of that.
Okay, great. Well, teaching those entrepreneurial principles that I talked about, I started building what was called, and you've done an excellent job of telling people to join your newsletter or your e-zine. We used to call it an e-zine back in the day when we first
Okay.
started. And that's one of the critical components of being in the online space. No email is not dead, contrary to what anybody
Mm-hmm.
would have you believe. You can't even join Facebook without an email. So you still
That's
need your email. And so that was the core of the business. I started building an e-zine and people started joining.
mm-hmm.
And then they would ask me questions about entrepreneurship. And then
Yes.
I would answer those questions. And I started developing little $7 reports
Mm-hmm.
and selling them. And that's where, so I was first known by these my 4 favorite words, which was notification of payment received,
Mm-hmm.
where I would send out an email and people would purchase these digital products and I would receive those notifications in my inbox. And then
Mm-hmm.
I slowly started interviewing. I came across the idea that if people wanted to learn entrepreneurship and business from me, wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
it be nice if someone started interviewing successful Black millionaires and doing. I got that idea from a book called Conversations with Millionaires, but it
Okay.
only had one Black person in that book.
Mm,
That was Famous Amos for Wallace Famous Amos from Famous Amos Cookies. And that's where the idea came. I said, well, wouldn't it be nice if someone interviewed other successful Black millionaires and put it into an ebook? And that's when I started that quest of interviewing, having these conversations with Black millionaires. And my first interview was Dr. George C. Frazier, and that was my first interview. But as you can see, that relationship has grown way beyond that, and we've
mm.
partnered. And I'm a current one of the faculty members at the Power Networking Conference every year, which you alluded to in the opening. And so those are some of the key things that I would say, just to kind of highlight it real quick for our audience. I
Mhm.
started an e-zine, an online newsletter, people joining my mailing list, and then I communicated with them to build a relationship, to build some rapport, and then
Mhm.
I offered them some products and services. In my case, it was digital products, information about entrepreneurship and business. First, it started with my own knowledge
Yes.
that I had, but then I started interviewing successful millionaires and selling that knowledge. And so, if there's a big takeaway or a good takeaway from your audience, is that you can build your online business just using email, starting with email,
Yeah.
but you can also use your own information. But just as you're doing right here,
Mhm.
you can interview other experts and authorities to develop products and services and content that could be sold and delivered online.
I love it. I love it. So, what has been, I guess, what other products have you sold digitally, and what's been the most beneficial or profitable for you?
Oh wow, we could go on and on. That project, Conversations with Black Millionaires. I mean, that was the breakthrough project. Again, I would create smaller projects and sell them and get what we call those notifications of payment received. But then once I interviewed my first interview was Dr. Frazier, and then there was Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, and then Les Brown, and Andrew Morrison, and Dr. Randall Pink. So the list goes on and on of the millionaires, and I had those interviews transcribed and turned them into that digital product, that ebook.
Mm,
And then that's when I started getting on radio stations or podcasts or other platforms, XM Satellite Radio, as you mentioned earlier, even some of the Warren Ballantine show and a few other shows back in the day. And we would be on national radio and in television programs and promoting these conversations with Black millionaires. And it was a huge success. So that was like my breakthrough product. And from that, that's when I started teaching people what I do, all of these courses and trainings that I attended.
mhm,
I started getting into teaching people how to do that. But to the question that started this conversation,
mhm.
um, the most transformation that I had in my own life, and I'm sure everybody is probably who's watching this have probably experienced the online space with coaches and things like that. But I discovered that my biggest transformation started happening for me when I started attending masterminds, right? So the closer I got to the quote unquote gurus or the experts or the authorities, that helped to expedite my learning and it helped to transform my life probably quicker and faster than just a book or a static course or even attending a boot camp or a workshop. It
Mhm.
was the mastermind environment to where I was able to bring my challenges to the groups, and
Mhm.
then those groups were able to give me some insight. So for me, when just to answer your question directly about what has probably been the most beneficial and profitable, it has been starting masterminds and now teaching others how to create their own masterminds.
Love it, love it, love it. So, from your interviews and your connections of the millionaires, what are some pointers that stood out to you? And then, what are some of the common things that they had as well?
Oh, wow. So many. I would say one of the common things, and I think this would resonate with you, is that
Mhm,
contrary to popular belief about, millionaires or people who are wealthy not really having a foundation
mm,
in God. I found the exact
mhm,
opposite. In fact, that was the impetus for all of their success, that they had a belief in a higher power
mhm.
bigger than themselves,
That's
which
right.
gave them the fuel
Mhm,
to, as you alluded to, discover their own talents and gifts and then perfect those gifts and
mhm.
then take those gifts and those strengths, those talents, and put them in the marketplace. And they built their businesses. And so that was the number one thing that stuck out, or the common thread amongst all of them, was their deep, intense belief in a power bigger than themselves and the ability to allow that power to guide them to build their businesses relying on their own strengths and talents. That's one thing. But then the mindset
Mm-hmm.
that comes with that. And if you ever look at that word, I would ask your audience to really study that word, because I think sometimes we just brush over it when we're talking about people having the right mindset to do these things. And I think we should kind of pause and really take a deeper dive on things like that. And so if you look at that, there's really two words. It's mind and set. And it's really just asking, what is your mind set on? What is it fixated on that you can literally focus and pay attention? And when you do that, you're prepared to go through the ups and downs, because if anybody tells you that there's any success without work, without trial, without difficulty, without challenges, without setbacks, they're lying to you. And I think that's the challenge for so many of our people in particular, is that we want to do it, but we don't
Mm-hmm.
have the mindset to endure when those first obstacles, when the challenges come, or when the things that we don't know about comes. Because for those of us who are entering into the entrepreneurial arena, in most cases, we're entering into that arena by default, right? We either, we hate our boss, we hate the job, so we say, I'm just going to start my little side hustle. But
Mm-hmm.
in doing that, we're kind of forgetting that there's a lot of things that we don't know that works in the world of corporate America, or as an employee, that doesn't work in the world of
Right,
entrepreneurship. And so when
right.
those things come, if you're not of the right mindset that you're going to endure, you're going to persevere, you're going to commit yourself to lifelong learning. That's key right there, is that they've committed themselves to whatever it is that they didn't know.
That's
Then
right.
they had to learn how to overcome those things. They had to get the information. They sought out the coaches, they sought out the trainers, they sought out the books. And that's the prevailing mindset that I would say that most of us have to kind of embrace in this journey that the millionaires have.
Awesome, awesome. And you may have answered this already, but as far as your mastermind classes, what do you teach them?
Well, and it's funny because this is, as I mentioned, some of your audience may not know this, but if you ever start buying courses and trainings,
Mm-hmm.
or going to boot camps or conferences, and you encounter again the expert or the guru, chances are you may have purchased the book, then you go to the workshop, then you go to the conference. And so there's this escalation of access to them, but
Mm-hmm.
there's also this escalation of uh, intimate knowledge that you
Mm-hmm.
may not have, or experience that you may not have at the beginning of the relationship. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's normally been reserved for the back end, is that if you run into gurus, there's this big ticket price that you have to pay to join their mastermind, to where it's more exclusive, it's more intimate. But I've discovered, one, yes, that's the ultimate business model. But more
Mm-hmm.
importantly, I think since COVID, uh, the pandemic started in 2020, I believe that
Mm-hmm.
now this affords us the opportunity to, whereas these type of business models or processes that were so foreign because they were destination based. Sometimes, as I mentioned, I went down to Orlando, Florida for that mastermind with the guru, and I've
Yeah.
traveled with George to meet in Atlanta and all of these different places. And a lot of people were left out of that type of process because they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't go to travel, or the ticket was too high. What I've
Mm-hmm.
discovered and what I'm promoting, especially for our people, is that now in this virtual space, now we can mastermind virtually without the travel expenses,
That's right.
and we can mastermind at an affordable price. Now that's the danger, is because sometimes when we're masterminding, or even what you do, like
Mm-hmm.
this, providing this type of forum, due to the barrier of entry being so low, meaning that it's free and all you got to do is just log on and see it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't pay attention to the information and take it and use it. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm hoping to promote, is that the best educational training environment, immersive environment for business and entrepreneurship, really anything, but in this case, since we're talking about business, is the mastermind. I've been
Mm-hmm.
a proponent of encouraging people to learn how to do as the principle says: when one mind comes together with another mind,
Mm-hmm.
those two minds produce, or they invite a third mind into the equation to help them with better
Yes.
ideas and solve
Right.
problems. Some people attribute this to Napoleon Hill, but it's actually biblical, right? It goes beyond Napoleon Hill. The scripture
Right.
teaches where there are two or more gathered, there I am in the midst of you, right? There's another energy,
That's
another intelligence there. And I'm of the mind that if we can begin to do that, either one mind with another mind or a group of minds, which
right.
consists of the mastermind, you invite the solutions to all of those
Yeah.
problems in the group. And so that's what I teach for people to kind of learn how to facilitate that, because it's no longer where I'm teaching,
Mm-hmm.
even though that's a part of it. It's no longer where I'm just coaching, that's a part of it. More
Mm-hmm.
importantly, I'm facilitating and we're asking questions. And then, due to the collective knowledge, wisdom, and experience of everyone in
Yes.
the group, now we bring possible solutions to help each other. And that's what I believe is the best business model moving forward.
I love it. I love it. That's like iron sharpening iron. You
Absolutely.
know, I
Absolutely.
love it. I love it. I love it. Is there anything else you want to share that you have coming up? Any workshops? Anything else you're going that you want to share with the audience?
Oh,
No.
well, no, as everything is opening back up, I believe we're just now getting ready to, the Power Networking Conference is coming up. So I'll be speaking there in Houston, Texas, a few other places I'll be speaking. But for the most part, if a person, those interviews have been very instrumental in my development.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love for your audience to, if they wanted to connect with me and learn more about what I do,
Mm-hmm.
best way I would say is to go to
Mm-hmm.
conversationswithblackmillionaires.com, enter
Mm-hmm.
your name and email, and I'll just send you those interviews so that you can start absorbing that information. And
Yeah.
then getting those interviews, then you'll kind of see what I'm about and see if what I share is a fit for you, that can help you. So that's what I would suggest people do.
Awesome. 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 Love it. Love it. Love it. And would you leave us with a word of encouragement?
Wow. Yeah, I would say if there's anything that I could say that would encourage anyone is that uh, you've probably heard that old saying, and it hasn't always been used in the best of light, but there's a saying that says that even though these are the worst of times, they're also the best of
Come
times,
on.
right?
Yes,
And so
sir.
even though there's a lot of chaos and a lot of uncertainty going on, there's also the opportunity for us to have a better life, right? This is the time that you can reset, you can push
Mhm.
the button, you can reinvent yourself,
That's right.
and not feel ashamed or feel any type of way for doing that. And the technology, as we can see right here, this is a prime example of
Mhm.
what's available to anyone
That's
to
right.
begin to start their journey of lifelong learning, constant self improvement and development, and then ultimately taking your talent, your purpose, and your gifts and putting them into the world. So this is, as it possibly is considered the worst of times,
Mhm.
also the best of times.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And that is great information. So maximize the opportunity that we have right now. Tap into the resources and the connections and skills that God has given you, and
Mhm.
connect with people that are not only like-minded, but have your best interests at heart and can show you how to even better what you do
Absolutely.
from their experience. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to share?
No, I mean you're hitting the nail on the head. I mean this is perfect. I would just say that you're the the resources, they're available, the people, they're available. You just have to, again, going back to that first statement, what
Yeah,
is your mind set on?
that's
If
right.
you set your mind on this and say that I want to change, I want to improve, I want to use my talent, skills, and gifts,
That's right.
the opportunity is there for you to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for doing what you do. Make sure you guys go to that website to check out some of those interviews as well. Thank you, Brother Bedford, for coming on today, for being my guest. I greatly appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. So hold tight. I am Deloris Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you guys stay connected to the number one divine connector, which is Jesus Christ. Talk to you soon. Hold tight.
Hey, we've got exciting news from Divine Connections Marketing Services. Now you can create your own custom video commercial for your business or organization. It's time for you to win. Your product or service is someone's solution. So get the attention of your potential customers now. Choose from a 30 or 60-second commercial today. Just email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com and we can get started. Connect today and let's get started making your custom video commercial now.
Hey, great day, everyone. I'm Deloris Williams with CEO of Divine Connections. So excited. Want to personally invite you to Divine Connections 12th magazine anniversary. We're going to have vendors and speakers and sponsors and gospel groups, and we want you to be a part. So get your ticket before February 20th to get yourself featured in Divine Connections magazine. The link below, and I will see you there. That is Saturday, March 26th. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Divine Connections Magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections Magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections Magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.
Let's get it started now.